Hey everybody, how are you all doing? I'm Ankita Nagraj. I head the customer success team at SellerApp. Today I'm going to talk about 8 reasons why sellers fail Q4. Q4 is the biggest and most exciting quarter of all, where a majority of sellers tend to make more sales than the rest of the quarters put together. E-commerce sales in the US is supposed to increase by 20%, and Amazon alone is increasing a 41% increase during the holiday season. Thanks to unending holidays like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, New Year's, Christmas, it gives you a lot of opportunity to make up for the rest of the year. This is a time for review and strategizing how to level up your game. If you're new to Amazon, or if you haven't started selling on Amazon, I have something special for you. So SellerApp has processed a lot of information to give you top categories and products during Prime Day. This will give you insights into what kind of products you have to source for Q4. So if you want to access the top categories and products during Prime Day, you can access the file in the description below. So in our first slide, we have the top performing categories during Q4, which is arts and crafts, baby, electronics, and home and kitchen. And in the second slide, we have the most gifted ideas, which will help you understand what kind of products can be sourced, especially for the holiday season, where buyers buy only to gift the items. So for our first mistake, we have wrong product selection. So what happens if you select oversaturated niches and highly competitive products? You end up with average listing price with really high PPC costs. As PPC campaigns is one of the most critical aspects of Q4, you end up with extremely high marketing budget with very low revenue. And the second problem you run into if you select a highly competitive product is your competitors will be selling the same exact product on other deal sites for next to nothing. So why would a buyer buy your product as opposed to your competitors who's giving away the product for more than like 80-90% off? And the third problem that you run into is organic sales will not pick up after the launch. So for the second reason, we have ineffective inventory management. So Amazon has made a lot of changes in the recent past. Let's take a look at it one by one. Monthly inventory storage fees starting April 1st will be increased by 5 cents per cubic feet. Long-term storage fees for all of the inventory that has been stored in Amazon warehouse for more than 365 days will be charged on a monthly basis as opposed to semi-annual. Amazon requires you to have a minimum of 350 inventory performance index, and here's how you can increase your index. Make sure that all of your inventory is available for purchase. Manage your excess inventory, increase sell-through rate on low conversion and low traffic products. That is, make sure that all of your slow-moving products are getting more traffic and selling more. And lastly, do make sure that you restock all of your inventory. So given all of these constraints, how do you effectively forecast and plan your inventory? So the first thing to do would be calculate monthly sales rate. So here's how you can calculate your monthly sales rate. See how many units on an average you're selling per day and calculate it for the rest of the month, and see how many stocks you need to reorder. Make sure you factor in your marketing efforts as well. So let's say that you plan to sell about 1,000 units because of PPC campaigns. So you need to add this to your monthly sales rate. And lastly, you need to drive traffic and increase sales for your slow moving SKUs. So for the third mistake, we have not being on top of Amazon policy changes. Amazon has introduced new policies to help sellers to save some money during Q4. So if you're selling in grocery, health and household, or baby, you're eligible to save $1.25 on fulfillment fees with Amazon Subscribe and Save. And if you are selling any product that is below $7, you are eligible to get a discount of up to 50 cents on referral fees. And lastly, if you are not updating your box content information, you'll be charged a sum of 10 cents per unit. You can enter the box content information in the following ways. You can enter the information into web form in Seller Central. You can upload it via Excel format or tab delimited file into Seller Central. You can apply a 2D barcode to each of the boxes. You can upload an XML file via Amazon Marketplace Web Services. So only if you keep track of Amazon policy changes, you can save a lot of money. So the fourth reason is one of the most common mistakes that sellers make, that is not sending inventory to Amazon just in time. So in 2018, Amazon had a deadline to send in inventory for Black Friday and Cyber Monday on November 7th, and to send in inventory for Christmas, the deadline was on December 1st, and to send in inventory for 2018, the deadline was on December 17th. Although 2018 deadline has not been announced yet, make sure you send in your inventory by end of October or beginning of November. The fifth mistake would be running PPC campaigns and deals only on the day of promotion. So make sure that you run PPC campaigns aggressively at least 2 weeks prior, and you set up discounts and promotions at least 1 week prior, and you reprice your product to be competitive throughout November and December by setting up minimum and maximum price. And lastly, do not focus only on selected few SKUs for promoting, but choose all of your products for sale. So the next mistake is a big one, and it's a super common one. Although we all understand the importance of having a really good product listing, but these are some of the mistakes that everybody tends to do. So the first one would be having unreadable titles. If you look at the example here, this title is filled with just keywords which do not make sense, which does not form a proper sentence. So make sure that when you create titles, it is readable and with a reasonable amount of keywords. Make sure that you convey benefits and any precise information of the product that the buyer would like to see right off the bat. So the next mistake would be having no images or poor images or using manufacturer images. So if you look at this example, the main image is quite horrible, to be honest, and it has only 2 images which does not tell the buyer what the actual object is or what the buyer would feel like holding it or using it. So the recommended standard is to have about 6 images, wherein you can have 2 infographics, 2 detailed images, and 2 lifestyle images. Having extremely lengthy bullet points without proper formatting is a big turn off for the buyer. If you have bullet points like the one that's shown in the image, nobody is going to read it. Although I do agree that bullet point is a great space to add as many keywords as possible, just make sure that you keep it to 1 or 2 sentences and it's readable with proper formatting. If the buyer is reading your description, it means he is halfway through the buying process. With a poor description like the one that's shown in the image, you're not going to tip him over to make that purchase. So have really good descriptions. You can narrate the story of your brand. You can specify all of the important information about your product, how to use it, that is essential for the buyer to make that decision to purchase your product. A lot of sellers do not understand the importance of having enhanced brand content. So for this quarter, make sure that you get your trademark registered and have a fantastic EBC. Sunbum is a good example of how amazing a product listing can get. You can find the link in the slide and you can find the link to the presentation in the description below. So the 7th mistake is focusing on wrong keywords. Although this is a super important one, it's often overlooked. So what does focusing on wrong keywords mean? It's choosing extremely generic and highly competitive keywords to rank for and to run your PPC campaigns on. So what happens if you choose extremely generic keywords? Isn't it good? So the problem with extremely generic keywords is that the buying intent goes low. Another common mistake that a lot of sellers do is choosing keywords that sets them up with wrong competition. If you look at the example over here, all of the first 3 products are priced around $30 and $20, except for the last one, which is priced at $90, without any visible, obvious differentiation. So as a buyer, why would I buy the last product as opposed to the first 3 products? So it is highly important to type in your keyword on Amazon and see what is the result that shows up on Amazon. So for our last mistake, we have wrong launch strategy. Amazon has changed a lot of policies in the past month, so much so that a lot of the strategies that used to work before do not work anymore. For example, the super URLs are not as effective as it was before, and the buyers have become very aware of giveaways, so much so that they buy the product in bulk and they latch on to the listings as hijackers, where the original sellers have to fight them off to get the buy box. And lastly, Amazon is not giving automatic buy box to FBM sellers. So it's preferred if you are an FBA seller as opposed to FPM. And lastly, as you all know, there was a huge controversy regarding reviews being taken down. So I would highly suggest you to keep away from review manipulation or going against Amazon terms and conditions to get reviews. So we've come to the end of the list. These are the 8 mistakes that a lot of sellers do during Q4. I hope you don't, and I hope you make the most out of Q4. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. My contact details are given in this presentation that is in the description below. Thank you and good luck for Q4.